Hey guys, today we're going to be doing some airsoft diagnostics and repair. We had a customer drop off this lovely Lancer LT25, so let's see what's wrong with it. So it says here in the tech contract that it's just not shooting. Obviously that can be caused by any number of things, so let's test it and see kind of what we're dealing with here. We'll get a battery plugged in and just dry fire it and see what we can hear. Battery's plugged in. Well, it is firing, but the trigger activation is really far back. So unfortunately, this probably won't be a quick fix, but we'll have to take it apart and see. We're going to take it apart and see what's going on with the trigger contacts. Okay, so when we're looking inside this gearbox here, the part that we're kind of focused on is going to be this guy right here. This is your trigger contacts. So if we go ahead and remove the tap plate spring, we can lift all of the compression parts out, grab our bevel gear, anti-reversal latch, sector gear, and spur gear out of there. Pull up on the trigger, that'll come out with its spring, and then we have to do some unscrewing. So remove that screw there, where my finger is. Take off the spring that's sitting on top of the trigger contacts. Gently lift up and pull towards the top of the gearbox shell. Go ahead and unroute your wires, just pull it out. So while we're looking at our trigger unit here, the contacts, you can pull the male contact out of the housing and off the rails sitting inside of here. And if we look at this, we can see that there's some wear on that front corner, and we flip it over, there's some charring and burn marks there on the other corner. And those correspond with the marks that I'm seeing inside of the trigger contacts. You can also notice that they're bent. They're bent in and down. So what we're gonna do here, technically you can replace the entire trigger contact unit, like the wiring harness, all that. In this situation, because of the slight amounts of wear, we're gonna attempt to fix this without replacing the parts. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna gently take some very high fine grit sandpaper, and we're just gonna very carefully sand the inside of these two prongs here, as well as the outside of the male contact here. So we'll cut to the next clip that, and we'll show you what we do there. Okay, so we've got our gearbox put back together and put inside of our loader receiver so we can test it. It's hooked up to an 11.1 just for testing purposes. Unsafe, it's stuck in safe. Semi, much more responsive, and it's actually firing a lot further forward in the cycle. Full auto, totally functional. Off camera, we'll go ahead and make sure that when it's all together, it's feeding, but as far as this goes, problem solved.